in. I don't want to waste too much time on this introduction, so I'm going to go ahead and say it. Welcome back to another video and or teaching. In this video, we're going to be going over pre-market, okay? The reason I rushed that is because we have a lot to go through today. Or tonight, rather, because it's 11 o'clock at night. Again. Yes, I'm recording at this time once again. We're going over pre-market, okay? Now, I've been back testing this, and I went back the past 7 months and really looked to see how pre-market affects the price action afterwards, and it's kind of crazy. And when you add other confluences with it too, it really opens your eyes to see how price is going to act at 9:30. It really does do a lot to you. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and explain what pre-market does and what it's programmed to do and like what it's supposed to be used for. One is I recommend that it can be used for two things. You can trade it and you can analyze it, okay? But me personally, I recommend you analyze it, okay? Okay, I recommend you analyze it just to keep you safe and just to not have you losing $2,000 at 7:35 a.m. No, we're not gonna do that. No, okay. So I recommend personally you just analyze this thing because I personally think that's what it's made for. And matter of fact, not even me personally saying that. That's what ICT said himself. He said that you should analyze pre-market. It is tradable. It is going to offer you some good entries if there's no news. If there's no news at 8:30 or just news period, then yeah, pre-market is going to offer you a pretty decent trade before the 9:30 opening. But the thing is, just analyze it, okay? It's used for analyzation purposes, and we're just going to get into it, okay? We're not even going to spend too much time. So we're going to go over today's price action first. We're going to keep going back, starting from today's price action or the date of this recording, which is, what is it on the chart? May 15th, 2025. Okay, this is the day of this recording that's being recorded right now, but this is the night of that date. This is the night of the 15th of May, okay? So let's go ahead and zoom in here. We're going to drop straight down to the 1 minute and go to recent price action right here, okay? Now, first, I never identified what pre-market was. Pre-market is from 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m., okay? That's pre-market. Starts at 7. Now, did I say 7:30? I don't think I did. But it starts at 7 o'clock, okay, 7 a.m., and it ends at 9:30 a.m., okay? You see that? It's about 2 hours and 30 minutes, okay? That's that time frame right there. So there's a lot of scenarios that this thing can go through. I'm going to explain each one of them, but I'm just going to give you this first scenario right here, okay? So we're going to analyze this, right? Let's go ahead and mark the 7 o'clock, which is right along here at 7, and then we're going to mark 9:30 wherever that is. So 9:30 is about right over here. Okay, cool. So this is it right here. As you can clearly see right here, this is a news embargo. This right here is a news embargo. That line in the middle is a news embargo. Or I can just remove it and keep it, or remove it, and then you can just eyeball it right there. You will know that that is a, excuse me, I had to burp right there, excuse me for that. But you would know that that is a news embargo, okay? First things first, let's look at what happens when, pre-market comes in. First, it energetically shoots up, right? What does it do right afterwards? This is just 2 minutes of price action. Remember, we still have 2 hours and 28 minutes left. Price, what it does is it accumulates. Why? There's a news embargo. Okay, there's a news embargo. What does a news embargo do? It shoots up. Typically, if pre-market, well, if there's a news embargo at 8:30, there's a very, very high chance that pre-market is going to consolidate. So if you're looking to trade pre-market, don't even try. If you see a news event at 8:30 or I don't know, at 10 maybe, well, not 8:30, 8:30. If you have a news event at 10, don't even try to trade pre-market. It's going to cook you. You might be like, oh, but it went down right here. No, don't even try it, because then there's a lot of situations to where this crap will move back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Then the news embargo will come in and shoot price higher. Now pay attention to this, okay? You can use pre-market to, like I said earlier, to predict what 9:30 is going to do, okay? You can add other confluences with it to really open your eye, to really have that eye opener, okay? So pay attention to this. We consolidate. Why? There's a news embargo. What does the news embargo do? It propels price higher, okay? But what does the consolidation do before it? It manipulates lower. So what is this doing? This is setting the tone on price for price to go higher in the future. Okay, not just at this news embargo, but just in the future period. Okay, because what this news embargo is going to do, it's releasing a lot of energy. Okay, think of it as in like you're in a marathon. Okay, you think of it, you're in a marathon, or you're running a race with a friend, for example. If you use all your energy at the start, right? If you sprint, I don't know, close to 17 miles per hour, you keep going for like 10 seconds, and you're out of energy, right? If you're out of energy, what are you going to do? You're going to start moving slower. You're going to breathe and you're going to calm down for a little bit. And then later, once you're done breathing and you're rejuvenating, then you're going to start displacing, right? Then you're going to start moving and running and getting back to that same speed, right? That's exactly what price does. I always refer to that same analogy, which is the marathon analogy. It's just, it's a iconic analogy. I'm always going to use that. It's a very simple, nothing too crazy type of analogy, okay? So that's what price is doing here. It's accumulating and accumulating and accumulating. This is before the race starts. This is before the marathon starts. You're preparing, drinking your water, getting everything set up, you know what I'm saying? Breathing in and out before the marathon starts. Then right here, the marathon starts and you immediately use all your energy to get in first place. Boom. Now you're in the front. But after that sprint forward and you sprinted, you ran out of energy. So now you gotta calm down. You gotta calm down for a little bit. And what does that do? It sends price into a consolidation all the way until 930. Okay. And since it sends price into it an accumulation all the way, not up to, I pay attention to the words I'm saying, not up to 930, but into 930, basically saying it can consolidate more after 930. Now pay attention, watch this, okay? We consolidate into 930. 930 keeps consolidating, okay? But it keeps going until 10. Why am I saying 10? Because 930 to 10 is that opening range, okay? And once that opening range is finished, price is going to start, it's going to start moving. It's going to start doing certain things, okay? It's going to start starting. You get what I'm saying? It's going to start starting. As you can see here, I already spoiled it. The price already going higher. But let's go ahead and analyze this real quick. Again, we consolidate, you're getting ready, drinking all your water, breathing in and out, breathing in and out. Marathon starts, boom. You use all your energy, you sprint forward just to get in front. Okay, you're in front, but then you gotta calm down. Whew, I'm tired. Drink some water and all that. You begin consolidating, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then 930 comes in, it still keeps consolidating, keeps consolidating. Why? Because it's 830 news embargo. It exhausted the market temporarily. So it's going to send price into a consolidation all the way until price is ready. Okay. And when is that time? We don't know. We just have to wait and see what price does. We really don't know. It could start doing it at 10 o'clock. It can start doing it at the lunch macro if like the whole entire AM session consolidates, in which it did here. Consolidation, 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 consolidation. But what I was about to mention with the opening ranges is watch this. Since we know price is consolidating, we're going to highlight the high and the low of the opening range. Now watch this. We have the high here, which is buy side liquidity, okay? We have the high, which is buy side liquidity. And we have the low, which is sell side liquidity. Since price has already, like I said earlier, pre-market and this news embargo has set the tone for price to go higher. But all price is going to do for right now is accumulate. So it's still building up. It's still building up, okay? Because we're like for example, like I said, if you're breathing, getting all your energy back from that first sprint, you're gonna keep sprinting later. That's this right here. You do see that, right? You're breathing, you're getting all your water, and you're like, okay, whew, I'm tired. Let me calm down real quick. I'm like, okay, I think I'm done. Let's keep going. And then we just rally higher. You get what I'm saying? You get the analogy here? So 930 comes in, we rally higher, and then we come down. So we create that opening range, okay? That's that 930 to 10 opening range, okay? Price comes up, takes out the high. Boom. Comes right into the high, shifts lower, comes back up into, is that an order block? I think that's an order block. Well, no, not really. That's a little weird. I forgot. Oh yeah, that's this mitigation right here. That's what I was looking for. Because I thought there was something right here I saw earlier. But it comes into that mitigation, block, and it heads lower. See that? Heads lower. Why doesn't it come to here? Because it's an intermediate term swing. It is an intermediate term swing. You do notice that, right? Yeah, short-term swing, short-term swing. Then you got the low in the middle of it that is below both of these swings, making this a what? Intermediate term swing, telling us that price is not going to come there yet. I know. Interesting, isn't it? Yeah, very interesting. But guess what? Price is still consolidated. So what was that down move for? Simply to manipulate. That's all it was. It's because, mind you, it's still building up the whole time. All it's doing is price is just accumulating. It's just doing things, and it's just doing things while it's accumulating. Okay, I will be teaching something called internal range trading in the future, and that might be just a very very long live lecture just going over internal range trading because it's nothing simple. You're gonna need a good understanding of price. But I just had something going on in my throat. I don't know why, but my my nose has been feeling really stocked up recently. But we're gonna keep teaching no matter what happens, or no matter if I cough or sneeze. But like I said, it's still consolidating, still consolidating. And if it keeps consolidating, even after I don't know 11 o'clock, even after 10:30, those types of times, like after like the first 30 minutes of London close, which is at 10 o'clock, or after the first 30 minutes, the opening range has been done with and is still consolidating and is still consolidating, then just go ahead and wrap it up. Okay, now not wrap it up, but just wait for either that lunch macro or that 1050 to 1110 macro, which is right in this area. As you can see, that is what propelled price outside of this consolidation. Okay, so what I'm trying to get you to understand here is that this everything that happened in pre-market told you what was going to happen here. Let's go over it again one more time so you can understand it. It's gonna be final. It's gonna be my final thing, and then we're going to move to another example of previous day. Price is consolidating, consolidating, consolidating. It's going lower, going lower, going lower, going lower. Why? Because it's setting the tone for this news embargo to go higher, and the news embargo is setting the tone for for New York to go higher. Okay, that's what this move higher was, because we accumulated lower, accumulated lower, accumulated lower. We came into a temporary discount into I think this water block right here, something in some PDRA in that area, something going on. But if you notice, we accumulate lower, accumulate lower. News embargo comes in, we seek that low, and then we propel price higher. What does this do? Sets the tone for price to go higher somewhere during New York, okay, or after the 9:30 opening. But it's not going to do it at the 9:30 opening. Why? Because this news embargo was there. That's why I keep saying somewhere during New York. We don't know when. We just got to wait. You just got to wait and see when price is ready to act. We have to see when price is ready to act. You can use this by using other confluences like disrespect or just anything that you use personally to determine that the market's going to blow or that it's going to start spooling. Okay? Anything that you use personally, it can be applied directly to the chart. And if not, you might need to learn a little something extra to help you spot that. But that's the reason this news embargo was here, was to set the tone for price to go higher, okay, and to make price consolidate so it can go higher later during New York. So the news embargo did two things: set the tone for price to go higher, okay, then it made price consolidate so that tone could be later distributed after it's consolidated during the AM session, okay. So set the tone, consolidation after the news embargo, and then around the 1050 to 1110 macro and then the lunch macro, it began to rally and rally and rally, rally. You starting to understand it? I think so. I wanted to go over that a bunch of times so you understand that. I know that was like 14 minutes of yap, but I know for a fact that you fully understand that now. This one scenario, you fully understand that. Like I said, there's multiple other different scenarios to where, for example, pre-market will just accumulate the whole time, and what's the word? Pre-market will accumulate the whole time, and then 9:30 would have to do the manipulation and the distribution. Okay, it'll do that sometimes. But let's go ahead and go back to Wednesday, which is May 14th, 2025. Here we go. Wherever this day is. All right, here we are. Here we are. So we're gonna go ahead and mark price, which is here, and wherever the 9:30 opening is, right there. All right, so okay. So this is a little confusing. I can't lie to you. Sometimes there's just gonna be days where price isn't cooperative, like at all, And I think this was one of those days to where price was just like, nah, I'm done. I don't want to do anything today. Yeah, had a nice rally up, a nice rally higher, but using just pre-market, yeah, you wouldn't really got anywhere. That's why you use other stuff like opening range gaps to see how price is gonna act during 9:30. But I haven't taught opening range gaps yet, but I have taught opening ranges. Okay, that's what I was getting it confused with. But let's go ahead and start analyzing this crap right here. So we can see that 7 o'clock, um, it comes in and initially pushes price higher. What is this? What does this do? It is manipulating. Okay, so it's manipulating. Okay, and it accumulates some more, accumulates some more, accumulates some more, accumulates some more. Matter of fact, no, this isn't done. I just realized this is one of the situations I analyzed earlier. Sometimes what price will do is, I can't even speak. The pre-market will manipulate and consolidate, right? And then after it's done consolidating, 9:30 will come in and manipulate one more time and then distribute later on. Okay, that's what happened here. So 7 o'clock came in, boom, shoot price up, and we manipulate into what? These relative equal highs here. So manipulate. Then we consolidate, and then 9:30 comes in again and runs into all these what is it? All these accumulated highs right here, all this trend line liquidity, I guess you can call it, but I call it accumulated liquidity. So it's manipulating and then it's accumulating. So 9:30 can manipulate again. And then as you can see, it is manipulation because look, we come up and then we come straight back down. Pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah, I know. It's pretty cool. Very cool. Like I said, um, sometimes price isn't going to move a lot during pre-market. That's why I say don't trade it because you don't know when it's going to consolidate. You really don't know when. I'm not gonna lie to you. You really don't know. I have to be honest. You really don't know. Unless London makes a big move or something like that, then yeah, you can probably expect price to consolidate. But if London consolidates, then yeah, pre-market might do some good. But I don't even recommend trading it. 9:30 is going to provide you all the money you need. Okay, just keep that in mind. But I'm going to say this again. 7 o'clock comes in, we go up right here. Here's the up move right there. We go up. We consolidate. What do? We are accumulating highs up here. We're accumulating highs up here, and then we're just accumulating in general. What is this telling us? Price can manipulate again during 9:30. Does it do that? Yep. Boom. Comes straight back up into all these highs up here. Okay, and then not even too far afterward, it drops right back down. Boom. Okay. So how does this set the tone? This sets the tone by telling us that price wants to go up and down. How does it do that? Price comes up, manipulates. So it's already manipulated, but it's telling us that 9:30 wants to manipulate some more by accumulating and building up highs up here. See those highs? These three highs right here? You do notice that, right? Price is building up more liquidity and consolidating, so 9:30 can manipulate again. So this right here is setting the tone for price to go lower, okay? But this right here is setting the tone for price to go higher temporarily. Why? Because it's consolidating and it's building up liquidity up here. Price goes up, and then that tone setter earlier is right here. That initial push up causes this move down. You see that, right? And mind you, there's no news embargoes here. This is all just analyzation. So you're starting to understand it, right? This is just one example of pre-market, using pre-market to predict your 9:30 opening. But if you want to analyze it, I recommend you waking up at like, if there isn't any news events, I recommend you waking up at like 9 o'clock or 9 or 8:30. Okay. If there's no news events, wake up at 8:30. Okay. I think that's personally what you should do. But if there is going to be a news event within pre-market, wake up at like 7:30 or 8. Okay, you get what I'm saying? But just make sure to wake up before the 9:30 opening. Because if the 9:30 comes in and you don't have enough time to analyze, which I've done hundreds of times, you're gonna get cooked and you're gonna just be chasing price and it's just a no-go, okay? So that's another example there. Now we're gonna go back one more time. One more day. which will be Tuesday. Okay. Now this is another scenario. Okay, this is another scenario. This is another scenario right here. We're gonna go ahead and mark the ting-tings right here. So 7 o'clock to 9:30. And let's analyze this. Price during pre-market, it's going higher. Higher, 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 and higher, and higher. So what is that telling us? It's setting the tone for price to go higher. Because if we look before us, it doesn't have anything to manipulate. The manipulation already occurred all around here. So the reason this is going higher is to set the is to set the tone for the news embargo, and so the news embargo can, set the tone for all this displacement up here. So basically what this was, since there was, if you just use other confluences, I already know why this happened, but I'm sure if you use other confluences and stuff like that, you'll see that there was no manipulation needed here, unless this tiny little manipulation here below all these candle levels, okay? So this is a non-manipulative type of situation, unless you have that, unless you're talking about this little candle lower right here. That's probably the only manipulation other than this right here, okay? But pre-market goes higher, keeps going 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 higher. But why is it doing that? It's not manipulating. So what is it doing? It's just going up to set the tone for the news embargo, and then the news embargo is going to set the tone for price. Very cool, isn't it? I know, very, very cool. News embargo, boom, explodes higher. Oh, I accidentally clicked my mouse. But it, boom, explodes higher. Then it proceeds to accumulate, accumulate, accumulate. Why is it accumulating? So price can have the energy to keep going at 9:30. At 9:30. Okay, that's the reason for this accumulation after the news embargo, okay? So the news embargo sets the tone for price to go higher. Then the news embargo makes price consolidate so that tone can be played out. And does that tone get played out after the consolidation? Yeah, I think so, at least. I think so. Yeah, we can say it does. Pretty amazing, isn't it? Yeah, no, it truly is amazing. We're gonna go over one more example, one more, and I'll be in this here because I think I've given you enough, really. I think I've given you enough. So, but this is most definitely more than enough. This is a pretty long teaching already, but you'll be learning a lot from this, I can guarantee. Like, just from how I'm talking and how I can feel the way I'm teaching, you're going to be learning a lot from this. So let's go ahead and do, which is 7 right here. Yep, 7 all the way to the 9:30, which is right there. Look at that candle. That is crazy. Alrighty, so let's analyze this. Let's analyze this. Let's analyze this. Now, I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but price can it can set the tone and manipulate in pre-market at the same time. Okay. What I mean by that is pay attention to this, right? Let me pull this up so you can see it. Price, what it initially does when pre-market comes in, it goes higher, takes out liquidity, and then it comes lower. Lower, 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 lower. What is this doing right here? What is this move lower doing? It's coming down and setting the tone for 9:30. How? Break your market structure. Then price manipulates during pre-market right here by going higher. See that? So we have that first initial tone setter right there. This is the tone setter. Then price manipulates. Price manipulates right here. And then price begins to consolidate after the manipulation. What is this consolidation doing? It's giving the 9:30 opening the energy to display the tone that was offered here. Okay, so tone setter right here, manipulator right here. So the 9:30 opening won't have to do anything. If it manipulates during pre-market, 9:30 won't have to manipulate. It won't have to. Okay, it won't have to go up then down. It'll just be down. Okay, so tone setter right here, right? Price goes up, manipulates. After the manipulation, it consolidates. Why does it consolidate? To give energy to the 9:30 opening so it can just shoot down with no problem. Does it do that? Yep. I think we can both say it does that. Yep, it does that. Then it later reverses during the lunch macro, but we're not going over that. We're going over this right here. This is what we're going over right here, okay? So like I just said earlier, if price manipulates during pre-market, if price is going to set the tone during pre-market period. It's just gonna happen. It's just inevitable. It's going to happen. But if it manipulates during pre-market, then 9:30 won't have to manipulate. It's just not going to have to. Okay. And then sometimes, as in the earlier example, price won't have to manipulate because the confluences um, are telling price, and price is just like ready to go higher. Sometimes that'll happen to where there won't even be manipulation. And even the news embargo won't even be manipulation, and it'll just continue setting the tone for price. Or the news embargo will set price into a consolidation, so it could distribute the tone that was set during the not 9:30, but during the 8:30 news embargo. So I hope you're starting to to get it, okay? But if you want to identify these consolidations, I mean tone setters and manipulations, you have to have confluences telling you that it's doing it, okay? You have to have confluences telling you that it's doing it. You have to see, like, okay, why is price going down? Is it breaking market structure? Is it returning to a order block? Is it, like, you get what I'm saying? You have to know why price is doing it, so you can say, oh, price is consolidated. Oh, price is set the tone. Oh, price is manipulating. You have to have um, components to do so. You have to have an arsenal of stuff to do so. You can't just come in here and say, oh, price went down. Oh, price went up. Oh, it's gonna go up. No, it's just not gonna happen. Okay, you have to use your confluences. That's all I'm trying to get you to understand here, is that you have to use your confluences if you want to see these certain things. Okay, if you want to see these certain things. The only reason I'm doing this, and I guess you can say predicting it in hindsight so well, is because it's hindsight. Okay, it's hindsight. We can see this clear as day. But doing this live, use your confluences. Use your confluences. I'm gonna warn you. Use your confluences. Don't just jump in here and be like, "Oh, I got this." Oh no, Mark is gonna laugh at you. Take your money immediately. Anyways, enough of me yapping. That was enough yapping, honestly. 27-minute recording going on 28 minutes, but I'm not going to let it go there. I hope you guys enjoyed this teaching. This was a very nice one. I can agree on that. It was pretty long, but very informational. I hope I taught you well. I hope you can use this information when it comes to these rigged markets, and hopefully it can make you a better profitable trader, and you become very skillful after learning this. I'll see you guys in the next one. Good luck and good trading.